The ocean covers 71% of the Earth, yet only about 5% of it has been explored. It's an entirely different world beneath the waves, filled with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. While most of its creatures remain hidden in the depths, some have been captured on camera, giving us a rare glimpse into the unknown. From eerie ghost fish to unidentified sea monsters, here are 20 mysterious underwater creatures caught on tape. Number 20. Maris orthocana. You almost can't tell the difference between a javelin that is jet-powered and a Maris orthocana, a creature found at depths of 200 to 800 meters in the cold Arctic waters. Maris orthocana is a siphonophore, and siphonophores are colonial relatives of jellyfish and sea anemones. Each member of the colony is called a zooid, and all zooids are clones of the founding protozoid. All along the length of the protozoid are the nectophores, looking like jars or lamps. They have an orange lining, which is a food canal that the entire colony shares. Actually, the nectophores are pretty much jellyfish on a stick. They contract so that the colony can slowly swim through the ocean with the much diminished current of the deep. The colony can even coordinate everything so they have enviable control over what direction they go in. Number 19. Box crab. Speaking of mystery, the box crab is another mysterious creature caught on tape under the ocean. Due to its size, some people call it the giant box crab, while others name it based on its nature and call it the shame-faced crab. Yes, some call it the red-spotted box crab for its color. Whatever name you choose doesn't change the fact that the box crab is a rare creature indeed. It is not an animal you can see from the surface because of its nocturnal habit and the fact that it burrows into the sand. One look at the box crab, and you can guess where its name was obtained. The way it pulls its large, unusually shaped claws into its body creates a box, and often when creating the box it does it like it is ashamed, hence the name shame-faced crab. But in reality, there's nothing like shame in the world of the box crab. The claws, when extended, are capable of covering the entire front of the body, including the eyes, which give it protection against predators and also protect its eyes once buried in the sand. Its claws are a very useful part of the crab's body. No wonder it protects them dearly. The right-hand claw has a large hook and is used for crushing mollusks such as snails and oysters, while the left-hand claw is more delicate and used to pick the pieces out of the crushed shell. How fast the box crab uses its claws, pulls them in, and buries itself in the sand is amazing, and it's all thanks to the structure of its body. The back of its body is sloped downward, which makes it easy for the crab to push itself downward and backward into the sand. If you're wondering how the box crab manages to stay alive buried inside the sand, the answer is its eyes and respiratory organs are set high up on the head, which means the crab breathes just fine in the sand. Number 18. Ribbon eel. The last 5 seconds most definitely reminded you of a ribbon. A ribbon won't move beautifully like that in an ocean unless it is controlled by someone. The creature you just saw is called the ribbon eel. Undoubtedly, the ribbon eel is one captivating creature that leads a fascinating life cycle. It involves 3 completely different phases of coloration and also completely changes in gender. The ribbon eel begins its journey in the ocean as a black eel, recognized by the bright yellow dorsal fin, which runs the length of its dark black body. As it matures, the black changes to a bright electric blue with an equally vivid yellow dorsal fin. This change means the eel is in its male stage. Finally, as the male ribbon eel grows to approximately 1.5 meters or 4 feet, its color changes to yellow, and this is when the ribbon eel enters its female stage. At this stage, the female eel can lay eggs. Most times, the ribbon eel is found on healthy coral reefs and sometimes on damaged coral reefs. What you find visible is the ribbon eel's head and upper body, with the rest of the body buried in the sand. But when it decides to come out of its hiding place, it is a special sight to behold. If you ever come across one, especially one that is swimming freely, you'll be tempted to touch it, but be careful, they are carnivores. But relax, no one has been eaten by a ribbon eel before. The ribbon eel feasts on shrimp and small fish. It is, however, often mistaken as an aggressive creature because of how it opens and shuts its mouth in what could be interpreted as a threatening manner. Even with this information, one look at the ribbon eel might scare you because of its long, protruding nostrils and razor-like teeth. Number 17. Ghost catfish. According to stories and myths, ghosts are pale, translucent, and wispy. This makes the name ghost catfish perfect for this creature. The ghost fish is also known as glass fish because of its translucent body. Its beating heart, as well as its spine, can be seen clearly from the outside. If you're thinking of stocking a home aquarium, the ghost fish is perfect for you. They are very small in size, and at the largest, they are about 2.5 inches long. While in captivity, the translucent body might only make the fish beautiful, but in the ocean, it protects predators such as big fishes. Ghost fishes also travel in schools, which also helps to protect them. They love to capture their food as it falls through the water. Unlike other types of catfish known as bottom feeders, they feed on mosquito larvae, brine shrimp, and bloodworms. Although a good number of them have been captured and sold for display in home aquariums, it has not in any way had a major effect on its overall population. We can be sure the ghost fish will be around for a long time. Number 16. Comb jelly. Most times, the comb jelly is mistaken for a jellyfish. Yes, there are similarities, but the comb jelly is actually not a type of jellyfish, and the truth is they are not even related to one another. The comb jelly got its name from the 8 rows of tiny comb-like plates that it uses to propel itself through the water. As it swims, the rows of comb plates diffract the light to produce a shimmering rainbow effect that keeps you stunned. Comb jellies find food by detecting chemical changes in the water around them. The changes send them a message that there's something to eat nearby. All they need to do is follow the potency of the chemicals, and a good meal is waiting at the end of the path. Comb jellies are also cannibals. They will eat other comb jellies that are larger than themselves. They do this by biting off chunks of them with special cilia structures in their mouths. The good news is they don't sting. Unlike the jellyfish, comb jellies can be captured and examined up close without the fear of being stung. This is something you definitely don't want to try with a jellyfish. Number 15. Red handfish. The red handfish is a fish that walks rather than swims like most. That is because of its modified fins that resemble human hands. There are not many red handfishes in the world. They are thought to have a total population of just 100 adults. Their color varies from bright red to light pink, and these creatures are typically less than 10 centimeters in length. At their early stages of life, they do not spend their time drifting as larvae within the water column and therefore have poor dispersal capacity, which limits their ability to colonize new areas. The reproductive pattern of the red handfish is complex, and so not much is understood about it. However, we do know that the females lay their eggs at the base of diverse seaweeds or seagrass and stand guard until they hatch directly onto the sand as fully developed juveniles between 4 and 6 millimeters in length. Now it's time for today's topic. While navigating the remote waters off the coast of South Africa, a group of sailors captured an image that has stunned marine scientists worldwide. The photograph shows an enormous dorsal fin slicing through the waves, dwarfing anything previously documented. Experts analyzing the image claim that this fin doesn't belong to any known species of shark, not even the largest great whites. Shark dorsal fins are as unique as human fingerprints, each bearing distinct patterns and textures. What makes this sighting even more mysterious is the fin's sheer size and rugged appearance, suggesting it belongs to an ancient and colossal predator. Marine biologists speculate that the shark might be a surviving member of a prehistoric species, possibly related to the infamous megalodon, thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. The sailors, who were on a fishing expedition, reported feeling the boat shake as the massive creature swam beneath them. The fin alone measured over 6 feet high, leading researchers to estimate the shark's length at over 50 feet, far beyond any living shark species. Could this be evidence that prehistoric giants still roam our oceans? The photo has sparked intense debate among scientists and cryptozoologists, leaving the world wondering what else lurks in the uncharted depths. Number 14. Nagonoid sea spider. You must have seen spiders on land and some very wild spiders, but isn't it shocking to know that there are spiders in the ocean, especially in the cold depths of the Antarctic Ocean, where life is tough? In this region, the temperature can drop below the freezing point. There is little or no plant life here, which means it can be pretty difficult to make a home here. But one animal that has miraculously survived this condition is the sea spider. The sea spider is not actually a spider but a distant relative in the phylum Arthropoda called Pycnogonida, hence the name Nagonoid sea spider. The sea spider has been found in different places across the globe, from shallow tropical seas to freezing oceans, but they grow the biggest in Antarctica. They can be as big as a house cat. This shows that the size range is attributed to the habitat. The sea spider loves to feed on soft-bodied prey such as anemones, sponges, corals, jellies, worms, nudibranch, and occasionally algae. The sea spider bites its prey by using the proboscis and sucks out the guts. Number 13. Nudibranch. This creature will give you mixed feelings. The nudibranch is one of the most beautiful animals in the world, but when you discover that it is also a slime-oozing creature with a boneless body, you might go, "Ooh, so gross." But when you take that away, the nudibranch can be very beautiful because of its colors. The colors are taken on from what the nudibranch eats. How so? When the nudibranch eats, it absorbs and displays its prey's pigment, the substance that gives the prey its color. But sometimes, nudibranch can also absorb toxins from their prey. The good news is it can secrete the poison from its own skin. Another important fact to note is that the nudibranch are simultaneous hermaphrodites. They can mate with any other mature member of their species, so there is no need to try to differentiate by sex. Number 12. Yeti crabs. We've all heard about Yeti, the mythical creature said to stalk the Himalayas, but it's safe to say none of us has seen it. And now, we present to you a living yeti discovered deep in the oceans. It's everything yeti-like except that it's a crab and not an ape-like creature. The yeti crab was discovered in 2005, and it represents a new species and also a new genus named Kiwa after the mythological Polynesian goddess of shellfish. This creature was named Yeti for its hairiness and all-white body, like the mythical creature for which it was named. The yeti crab has no eyes, but even with that disability, the yeti crab has several unique adaptations to survive the harsh biome of the cold and desolate deep-sea floor. The yeti crab is characterized by a generally crab-like shape, measuring about 6 inches long, and the long, bristly claws that enable it to harvest bacteria. Only deep-sea submarines can reach where the yeti crabs live, and because of that, there's a lot yet to be known about this mysterious creature. Number 11. Peacock mantis shrimp. Take a look at this beautiful crustacean, and you won't question why it was named peacock mantis shrimp. But don't let looks fool you. This crustacean is a really ferocious predator undersea. It hunts with clubbed forelimbs and has one of the strongest punches in the world. The mantis shrimp can punch with the speed of a .22 caliber bullet, strong enough to break the shells of its prey as well as aquarium glass. You might want to reconsider having one in your aquarium. Its punch is so strong that when it hits its target, the velocity causes water to vaporize, then implode with a sharp bang, very high heat, and a flash of light, all of which is felt by its prey animal as an additional blow. When the mantis shrimp is not using its limb, it lies folded under its body, compressing a saddle-shaped spring that drives the animal's stupendous strikes. All species of mantis shrimp are fighters, as some wield spear-like limbs that can pierce their prey instead of club-like limbs for punching them. Number 10. Blobfish. If you were ever asked to think of the ugliest animal you can imagine, which animal would it be? If that wasn't the blobfish, you just got a replacement. A pale pink, gelatinous blob with a droopy, downturned mouth and large sagging nose. In 2013, the fish was named the world's ugliest animal, but it only shot this hideous fish to fame with memes, songs, soft toys, and even TV characters created in its honor. However, the fish was misunderstood. According to scientist Richard Arnott, this viral image of the blobfish is nothing like what it looks like in reality. The fish only looks that terrible when it has been torn from its home and suffered devastating tissue damage due to the rapid depressurization as it was dragged to the surface. The blobfish resides thousands of feet underwater, and there, the misunderstood blobfish looks like a normal fish. These tadpole-shaped fish have bulbous heads, large jaws, tapered tails, and feathery pectoral fins. It does not have scales, and rather than scales, it has loose and flabby skin. It has bones and muscles, but the bones are not strong, and neither is the muscle thick. Instead of relying on those, it relies on the water pressure to hold its shape together. That's why blobfish collapse into a squishy mush when they are pulled up to the surface. Blobfish are usually found in dark, cold, and dangerous habitats where there is no scarcity of food. The blobfish lies in wait for its prey and just eats anything that passes by, like crustaceans, brittle stars, anemones, and carrion. This allows them to preserve energy, which is key to their survival. Number 9. Leafy sea dragon. Meet the leafy sea dragon, a creature that masquerades as a twig in the water. It also appears to be so harmless. Well, to humans it is harmless, but not to tiny prey such as small fish and crustaceans. You could ditch the name leafy sea dragon and just call it the master of camouflage because you would never have imagined you have seen a fish if you ever came across it. The leafy sea dragon is a fish, but unlike any you know, it is a poor swimmer. It typically drifts with the currents instead of putting forth the effort to swim. That's not because this creature wants to be lazy or weak, but rather because it has almost invisible, weak fins along its back and sides that can only be used for maneuvering and slow swimming. And while most animals chase down their food, the leafy sea dragon waits for its prey while sitting in the seaweed or kelp. It can do that because of its leaf-like appendages that blend well with the plants. Ignorantly, the small fish, thinking they are passing by seaweed, would get caught by the leafy sea dragon. The sea dragon's appearance isn't the only thing that makes it mysterious. Its reproduction is even more amazing. Once the female sea dragon lays eggs, the male carries the eggs with a patch attached near his tail. The leafy sea dragon is one mysterious creature. Number 8. Sea pen. You already know no one writes in the ocean, so why the name? Obviously, the sea pen is not a real pen, but it was named after one suborder which looks like those antique feather pens. The truth is, just one group of sea pens actually lives up to this antique pen-like description. The other species have club-like structures, so maybe they should have been called the sea clubs. A sea pen is basically an immobile animal. They don't really move. They are on their own, and so they fit into the same category as sea anemones and coral. In fact, they are classed as octocoral, which has multiple polyps, a sac-like structure, and each polyp will have 8 tentacles. We can say these 8 tentacles gave the sea pen the pass into the octocoral family. You can agree that these multiple polyps make the sea pen look amazing, but they also have a good purpose for being there. The polyps covering the sea pen end up becoming rigid, and in the process, the sea pen loses its tentacle. The rigid polyps then become responsible for water intake, food intake, and reproductive structures. Although we say that the sea pen is anchored into the ground and that they don't move about, they can pull the anchor and move to a new spot if they need to. But mostly, they are in a spot with a nice current that can bring them all kinds of plankton, their favorite food. Number 7. Colossal squid. You might have guessed by its name, but you really have no idea how big the colossal squid is. It is the heaviest invertebrate on Earth. This gigantic sea creature can grow up to 33 feet long and weigh up to 1,500 pounds. However, many scientists think that some colossal squids in the ocean are even bigger. Despite its size, much of the colossal squid's life remains a mystery, as only a few specimens have ever been found and studied. These deep-sea giants are believed to inhabit the frigid waters of Antarctica, staying at depths between 3,300 and 13,000 feet, making them incredibly difficult to observe in their natural habitat. Their immense size and elusive nature have led to countless myths and legends over the years, with early sailors believing they were monstrous sea creatures capable of sinking entire ships. Researchers speculate that the colossal squid is an ambush predator, using its enormous, forward-facing eyes to detect faint traces of bioluminescence from unsuspecting prey. Its strategy likely involves waiting patiently in the darkness before launching a rapid attack with its deadly tentacles. Some of the most fascinating evidence of the colossal squid's battles comes from sperm whales, which often bear circular scars from the squid's powerful suckers and sharp hooks. It is not only the colossal squid's body that's big, but also its eyeballs. Its eyes are the biggest eyes of any other animal in the world. The eyes of the colossal squid are bigger than 12 inches in diameter. That's a size bigger than a standard NBA basketball. But instead of using these eyeballs to sight prey, it uses them to spot a larger predator like sperm whales, especially in the dark deep sea. Like other species of squid, the colossal squid also has 2 tentacles and 8 arms. In addition to their many sharp hooks, colossal squids also have hundreds of suckers on each of their limbs, and in addition to that, it has a sharp parrot-like beak that it uses to tear through the prey. Number 6. Pink see-through fantasia. What is an undergarment doing underwater? That's probably what you thought when you heard pink see-through fantasia. But don't get it wrong, this is about a sea cucumber. Since it was discovered back in 2007, its survival tactic has made it relevant to this day. Despite its delicate and almost whimsical appearance, the pink see-through fantasia is a master of survival in the extreme pressures of the deep sea. It resides at depths of around 8,200 feet in some of the most inhospitable environments on Earth, where sunlight never reaches. Scientists have observed that this bizarre creature has an extraordinary ability to propel itself off the ocean floor and swim gracefully when necessary, unlike most other sea cucumbers that simply crawl along the seabed. It does so by flexing its body and using its fin-like appendages to glide through the water in an almost ghostly manner. Interestingly, researchers believe that its see-through skin may be an evolutionary adaptation, helping it avoid detection from predators lurking in the deep. The transparency serves as a form of camouflage, making it nearly invisible in the darkness. The pink see-through fantasia got its name from its transparent skin, through which you can see its mouth to intestine and even to the anus. It is a bioluminescent animal, which means it emits light. When this animal is in danger, it uses the light to ward off potential predators. It swims using the finger-like webbing beneath its body. What's more amazing is its unique feeding mechanism. The pink see-through fantasia filters nutrients from sediments on the ocean floor, and while doing that, it helps to oxygenate the area. This is a win-win for the sea cucumber and other creatures that live in the deep sea. So not only is it cute, but also a hard worker. Now you want to have one for yourself? Sorry, that's not happening. This creature is a deep-sea dweller, which means it might not do well in captivity. Number 5. Gulper eel. Imagine weird, creepy, and cool, all in one body. Most likely, it's not something you've come across, but from all that you've seen so far, chances are a creature like that might exist. And of course, in the ocean. Say hello to the mysterious gulper eel, also known as the pelican eel, one of the most unusual creatures discovered underwater. While the ribbon eel stands out because of its flashy colors, the gulper eel doesn't need color or size to stand out. It just does. And yes, you guessed right. The massive gulping mouth makes it easier to spot the gulper eel from anywhere. This mouth allows them to swallow prey whole, including larger fishes. Because the gulper eel knows the ability of its mouth, more than looking for what to eat, a larger percentage of this creature's energy is channeled into finding a mate. This is more important to this creature. So important that the mature male grows larger olfactory organs to sniff out females while simultaneously losing its teeth. According to research, the male gulper eel dies soon after mating due to the resources it puts into reproduction. The gulper eel is definitely a sucker for love. Number 4. Pyrosome. If you're a diver, you might have seen a long, inflatable tube in the ocean and moved past it. Don't be surprised, that tube might just be a pyrosome. The pyrosome looks lifeless when you see it, until you disturb it, and then it glows brightly with bioluminescence. These bizarre creatures are often referred to as the unicorns of the sea, due to their rare sightings and almost mythical appearance. Despite their delicate, jelly-like structure, pyrosomes can drift through the open ocean for years, growing to immense sizes. Some have been reported to reach up to 60 feet in length, making them one of the longest colonial organisms on the planet. What's even more fascinating is that when one part of the colony glows, the bioluminescence can quickly spread across the entire structure like a wave, illuminating the deep sea in an eerie blue-green light. Their ability to glow is not just for show. It is thought to be a defense mechanism, potentially confusing predators in the dark depths of the ocean. Additionally, they can be found in both shallow and deep waters, and while they are harmless to humans, their sudden appearance can be startling to divers who are not expecting a glowing, floating tube. This tube, about 40 feet long, is made of tiny animals called zooids. Each one has its own body, but they are all physically joined together as a single colonial organism. An even stranger fact about pyrosomes is that all the zooids that make up a single pyrosome are clones of one individual. More interestingly, each zooid can replicate itself, thereby increasing the zooid population. Every zooid is physically connected because they all share tissue. Each zooid sucks in water, filters out plankton to eat, and blows the rest into the inside of the tube. One end of the tube is closed, while the other is open. Water flows out the open end, letting the whole colony move by jet propulsion. Isn't this creature just amazing? Number 3. Bigfin Squid. This mysterious creature was first spotted in a tape captured by a camera dropped in the ocean. No one knew what it was, other than that it was a big squid. When the tape was analyzed, it revealed the squid's big eyes, strong curved beak, 2 tentacles, as well as 8 arms of varying lengths. The arms are thickest near the body and taper to a narrow point. Each arm possesses 2 rows of suckers, with each sucker measuring less than 2 millimeters wide and sporting a ring of sharp teeth. It really did not look like any known creature, until it was spotted in other parts of the ocean. Now, scientists have more to say about the creature. The bigfin squid, also known as the glitter or oval squid, ranges in color. You can see them in translucent white, pale yellow, and brownish pink. A bigfin squid has chromatophores covering some parts of its body, allowing it to rapidly change color and pattern. In addition, it has iridophores in the head, which produce iridescent red and green lights when exposed to light. The bigfin squid is a carnivorous predator that eats various marine life. It often hunts at night and retreats to deeper waters to hide during the day. Its diet consists primarily of prawns, crustaceans, and fish. With its tentacles, it grabs its prey and uses its 8 arms to hold onto it while eating. Number 2. Hagfish. All over the world, there are an estimated 76 species of hagfish. These creatures are also known as slime eels. However, they are not eels, they belong to the class Agnatha, which is for fish without jaws. They can be found as deep as 5,600 feet and prefer to stay near the soft seafloor, where they can bury themselves if threatened. Their most unique feature is their ability to produce massive amounts of slime as a defense mechanism. When attacked, the hagfish releases a thick, mucus-like substance that can clog the gills of predators, forcing them to release their grip. Incredibly, a single hagfish can fill a 5-gallon bucket with slime in just minutes. This slime is not only a defense mechanism but also serves as a tool to help them escape from tight spaces by reducing friction. Additionally, hagfish have a unique feeding method. They burrow into the bodies of dead or dying fish and consume them from the inside out. Despite their gruesome eating habits, they play a vital role in marine ecosystems by helping to clean up decaying matter. Amazingly, this fish has 4 hearts. One serves as the main pump, while the other 3 serve as accessory pumps. The hagfish breathes through its nose and skin. It takes in water through its nasopharyngeal duct, which leads to the pharynx and gill pouches. Number 1. Christmas tree worm. Who doesn't love Christmas? Christmas Day comes once a year, and so does tree decorating. But deep in the ocean, every day is Christmas. There's always at least one Christmas tree, all thanks to Christmas tree worms. Christmas tree worms are a type of polychaete, a group of segmented worms that contains over 13,000 species. These worms brighten up the ocean. Their dazzling display of colors ranges from red, orange, yellow, and blue to even white, making them a mesmerizing sight on coral reefs. The feathery structures sway gently in the water, adding a festive touch to the marine environment. Interestingly, when threatened, these tiny worms quickly retract into their burrows, sealing the entrance with a hardened, protective lid called an operculum. This instinctive reaction helps protect them from predators like fish and sea stars. Their burrows, which they drill into coral, are permanent homes that they rarely leave. Some scientists believe that their presence on coral reefs might actually contribute to reef health by aiding in water filtration and sediment distribution. What you're looking at right now are the feathery spiral plumes, which come in an array of color morphs and are called crowns. These crowns come in pairs because each worm has 2 of them. The crowns are used for catching passing prey, but they do more than that. They are also used to harness oxygen, which is why most people mistake the structure for gills. The worms settle on corals, but are pretty choosy when selecting coral to settle on. There have been speculations that landing on carefully selected species could help the worms with reproduction, while some believe it is to avoid predation. Which of these creatures surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.